So to this day, the residents of Kameshi are still affected by the natural disaster in 2011. Houses were destroyed, environments polluted, and economy was also affected. Since then, the area has undergone a rebirth. However, fewer and fewer younger generations are choosing to live in the area due to the reminiscence left by the tsunami. The flow of people out of Kameshi has resulted in a gradual decline in economy and the loss in cultural heritage locally. Our design aims to stimulate economical development by attracting and supporting the tourism sector, as well as building a wider community for the locals. Our design makes use of the regional trait of Kameshi, the curry tour mine, which embodies local values and captures the essence of rural life. The blending of culture and tourism can be mutually beneficial. It forms a wider community where tourism can learn about the regional traits of Kameshi, and the locals can develop a sense of belonging and identity. With the key concept of regional traits and sustainability in mind, we extracted elements from the culture, business, and the surroundings as inspirations that runs through the entire project. From a cultural perspective, we chose the curry tour mime. It is traditional dance in Kameshi and translates to tiger dance. During festive times, the tour mime teams can be seen throughout the day and night practicing and performing in the streets. They are accompanied by taiko drummers, bamboo flute players, and singers. Tiger dance groups will travel along the main streets, entering businesses, and will perform a short dance to people inside, and this is viewed as a blessing. The dance is performed every year around the 25th of August to offer blessings to the dead after the tsunami. We abstracted the relationship between the tiger skin and the performer in the tower mine as a dynamic pattern of a building roof. From a commercial point of view, since fishing has always been an important local industry in Kameshi, we took inspiration from the weaving of fish nets as the roof structure of the building. The overlap in the fishing net was also used as foundation when considering the architectural plan. Additionally, we also incorporated the logo A of the company AP in our building. Lastly, taking inspiration from the surrounding environment, we used the transport containers seen in the docks as the indoor architectural space. Here, AP can host educational events as well as hold spaces for equipment storage. Therefore, the interpenetration of the roof and the container will create many overlapping, multivalent, intermediary spaces. The roof exposes many openings in the building, where the interior is visible. So this approach not only increases the communication between the people, but it also increases the communication between the architectural space and the surrounding scenery. In addition to enjoying the educational space inside the building, people can also feel the sea breeze and enjoy the mountain view in the intermediate space within the building. During the day, the building acts as a place for the tourists to visit, learn, and experience. At night, it's returned to the locals where they can host activities and events. So now I will explain the thought process between how the building was constructed. So the location of the site is excellent. So it's low on the northeast and high on the southwest with a flat terrain. So what this means is that it offers both mountains and sea view. Further, it's close to the main road, so transportation is convenient. And after careful consideration, we also added a branch road to the south side, so local residents do not have to detour. And this also separates the equipment transport from the road for the local residents. From the building blocks, we consider two parts: the generation of the interior of the building and the evolution of the roof shape. So why was it a vertical distribution? First, the space was quite limited, and second, certain functionalities required a certain height to be satisfied. So how is the initial building block generation considered? We believe that the volume of the building evolves on the basis of a windmill-like layout. This is done to form a core space where more people can participate. At the same time, in order to allow all participants to view the mountains and the sea, the volume was set back and misplaced. And at the same time, this treatment method makes the volume of the whole building looks very rich. So, let's move on to the evolution of the roof shape. We abstracted the pattern of the tiger skin from the Curritoriumi to form the curve element of the roof. And based on these elements, we introduced the dancing tiger skin as a shelter covering the container. The roof forms a dialogue with the mountain and the sea, and this echoes the natural curve and forms a side penetration to nature. So we chose containers because we want to adopt the concept of ecological sustainability and use containers of the uniform international size. The container itself is very strong. The load-bearing capacity is even higher than that of ordinary buildings, and it also has anti-corrosion and certain fire protection properties. The cost is cheaper than traditional buildings, and it can be reused without generating too much of construction cost. In the choice of materials and the spatial distribution of the interior space, we try to use the narratives of vertical space to represent the surrounding history and the future expectation of place. Therefore, the three spaces we have divided are the equipment space on the ground floor, the education space on the first and second floor, and the tourist space on the third and fourth floor. So we hope to use local materials to divide them so as to add a progressive narrative structure in response to the 2011 tsunami, thus allowing the vertical spaces to overlap. For the ground floor, we wanted to use raw materials to abstractly translate the history of the local disaster in the area. On the first and second floor, we wanted to represent the current state of the area with fire-burnt wood, which left traces of damage done to the area. For the third and fourth floor, we have used new timber to echo our hopes for the area and to symbolize rebirth. The use of the space is also flexible and overlapping, echoing our elements, and the furniture is placed with a variety of local weaves in mind. The semi-outdoor intermediary space created by the roof is also a visual dialogue with the ground floor space and can be flexibly adapted to different activities.